go to London, New York, and purchase these international financial services. Now, it was only, I mean, after the 1991 reforms, there were certain attempts, some committees were formed by the Ministry of Finance. They recommended that, if India does not have its own international financial center, that would mean potential loss of about $120 billion annually. And I mean, $120 billion, $1 billion is about 8,000 crores. So you can, visualize what I'm talking, I mean, the kind of numbers I'm talking about. And acknowledging, the need of having an international financial center in the country, because it was only under the dynamic leadership of our Prime Minister that, something of this could be visualized and implemented, because this was something that Indians also thought that we cannot ever have a international financial center in India, because it simply is too complex, and our laws are too complicated. Ease of doing business is a challenge, and we were not fully, confident whether we would be able to attract the big financial players. I'm talking about big hedge funds, big, private equity funds who otherwise operate from outside India, but we never thought, if we set up a center like that, they would be able to come here and operate. But it was in 2015 that in the union budget, they announced that India for the first time will operationalize an international financial center in India. Now, in my view, this was an inflection point for the Indian economy. This was an inflection point to integrate India and to raise India to the high table of, cities like New York, London, Singapore. And once this was announced in the budget, obviously a lot of policy reforms were required on the regulatory legal side. So the IFSC, which was announced, once it was announced, then the next question was, where would it be set up? So where should this international financial center be in India? Now, government took a very conscious decision that this center should come up at some place called Gift City in Gujarat. Now I'll come to why Gift City was selected for this particular ambitious project. But as Gift City was identified, the necessary domestic regulators, financial regulators brought about some regulations, and initially the business started here. Now, from purely a theoretical point of view, what is an international financial center in India? It means an offshore territory. So it's like a deemed legal fiction where you are within India, but within a 300, 400 acre boundary, under the legal provisions, it is as if you are in a foreign territory. So it's like an international jurisdiction. So this was something, completely new in India, to have like an enclave or a country within a country, right? So this, within Gift City, they identified about 300, 200 acres, which was designated as a special economic zone, and under law it was notified as India's first international financial center. Now, with this, the engagement with foreign stakeholders started, because naturally, once you have an international financial center, you would want international businesses to come and set up there and then service the Indian economy. But in 2019, the government realized that a center like this required, very focused and dedicated regulatory intervention. Because frankly, international finance is slightly complex, because it involves transnational economic transactions. You're dealing with different currencies, and you're dealing with very large amounts of money. So here I'm talking about billions of dollars of money. So for that you need a specialized agency to license these agencies, bring about the regulations. And for the first time in the country, the government, through an act of parliament, set up the IFSC authority, to which I am the first batch of young officers who were recruited in 2020. Now, why is this organization unique? Is because in Hong Kong, in Singapore, you have a unified financial regulator. So government of India studied these other international financial centers, and they realized that if you want to develop a center which is of international quality, which is of international standards, then you might as well have an internationally oriented regulatory authority. So the IFSCA was set up by the Act of Parliament, and it has powers of all our financial regulators in India. By that I mean, in that specific zone, we are the Reserve Bank, we are the capital markets regulator, which is the SEBI. We are the insurance regulator. We are the pension. So within one body, they conferred all the legal powers, and obviously a lot of acts were amended accordingly. Now, once this authority was formed, what we did was that we studied the regulatory model of different financial centers, and then we came out with our own set of new regulations to attract foreign businesses. Now, just to because you guys are not from the finance background, I just want to so that it's more relatable. In India, in the air, and this is a very specific example that I'm giving, that all commercial airlines in India, whether it's Vistara, whether it's Air India, whether it's any commercial airlines, no Indian airlines, or globally also, nobody these days in the last at least 20 years purchases an aircraft. All these aircrafts are, as you're aware, there are two international manufacturers of aircrafts. One is in the Europe, one is in the US. They manufacture the aircraft. Then there are aircraft lessors. Lessor is an entity that purchases those aircrafts and then leases it to airlines. So all our airlines of Indian, any commercial airlines operator you see, they're all leased. But all these leasing transactions, which are to the tune of billions of dollars, because India, is the third largest aviation market in the world. Everything used to happen. All these transactions used to take place from Ireland. Okay, and Ireland is a global hub for aircraft leasing and financing. Now, the Honorable Prime Minister was of the view that these are Indian aircraft lessors and aircraft leasing entities. When they lease aircraft, why should the business be out of Ireland? Why can't India itself do this business? So, you have to visualize this is a completely new ecosystem. Something like that had never happened in the country. These kind of transactions internationally are very complicated, very complex. Lot of international law is involved. But with the concerted efforts, we were able to develop this entire aircraft leasing ecosystem in this IFSC gift city that I'm talking about. Similarly, in banking, when Indian corporates now we because of climate change and the sustainability components that all the countries are conscious about. When with the rise of ESG, now all corporates, they are they really want ESG funding. Now, India itself, the government does not have that kind of capital. They do not have that kind of money. So where will that capital come from? It cannot come from Indian banks. So the natural answer is it has to come from outside India. But how did this happen prior to gift city and this IFSC concept? Is that Indian companies would go to London, they would go to Singapore, they would raise billions of dollars of bonds on international stock exchanges. So I'm talking about London Stock Exchange, Singapore Stock Exchange, Luxembourg Stock Exchange, and then they would bring the capital to India, and then they would invest, say, in the renewable energy, solar, wind, whatever. But now with the GIFT International Financial Center, what we are for the first time witnessing is that these Indian corporates, they're not going to London, they're not going to Singapore, they are coming to GIFT City, where you have all the international participants. We have more than 300 financial institutions operating now. And those bonds which were earlier listed in, say, London Stock Exchange, they are being listed at the IFSC stock exchanges, which, in technical terms or even general parlance, it is onshoring the offshore. Earlier, all these things, all these transactions, financial transactions were happening abroad. The jobs were going abroad. The service fees was going abroad. The entire ecosystem of lawyers, financial, finance is a very rewarding profession. So everything used to go abroad. But now we are seeing that finally these international financial services are gravitating back to India. And the genesis of this, I'll just take 5 more minutes and talk about the genesis of how this concept of, having this in GIFT City came about. So when the Honorable Prime Minister was the Chief Minister of Gujarat, he happened to visit Singapore on 2-3 occasions. So when he visited Singapore, obviously he interacted with the Indian diaspora there. During his interactions, he realized 2 very funny things. One is that most of the professionals in the finance field, they were Indians. And when he asked them, "Bhai, what are you doing here?" So they used to say that we are Indians, we are doing India business, but we are doing it out of Singapore.
Sir just mentioned he's just joining back because he has a network issue. So you can just sit tight. Okay, thank you.
I have joined. Am I audible?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah. So when the I mean, when he was when Prime Minister Modi was when he visited. So when he came back, then he asked his officials, why can't we have this international financial services business in India? Uh, so then he conceptualized that he would develop this totally greenfield smart city called Gift City. So this Gift City is located between Ahmedabad and Gujarat, Ahmedabad and Gandhinagar. It's about 15 minutes from the airport, so it's completely state of art infrastructure. And I happen to be in the department that deals with international affairs. So I, on almost on daily basis or regular basis, because of my professional, commitments, I deal a lot with foreign diplomats who come to Gift City and then who interact with, our officials. And you would be surprised that when they see the kind of infrastructure that has been and the international financial center that is coming up, they are pleasantly surprised, because some of the things that we are doing in Gift City, probably it's not even happening in London or New York or Singapore. So, and for a country, after all, India is a developing country. We don't have unlimited resources. Despite these challenges, if we are able to achieve, and achieve so much, I think we should appreciate the government and all other stakeholders. So this was the background of my interaction and my engagement with the foreign counterparts and diplomats. Now, very briefly, I would, when I was, discussing and with a colleague of mine that, I'm supposed to talk here today, what should I be talking about? So I then realized that, when I was preparing, I happened to come across this book on the art of public speaking. Now, I think rather than me giving a monologue of why diplomacy is important, why international relations is important, you guys are all mature and I mean you're aware of all these facts. So I might as well give you some inputs on the art of public speaking itself, because if even 2-3 principles you can take from here and try to internalize it, it can be really beneficial. So this book I'm talking about is by a writer called Dale Carnegie. So if you ever happen to, I mean, I would recommend that you buy this book maybe now or I mean at a later stage. It's a very good read. The name of the book is The Art of Public Speaking by Dale Carnegie. So who is this person? Dale Carnegie was he was an American writer, and he's considered the father of, in at least in modern times, the father of self-help books. So his book, which he wrote in say 1920s, 1930s, people still read today. Because the kind of relevance and the kind of uh, arguments they put forth, they are extremely relevant even after 70 years. So in that book, when I read that book, it was Eureka movement for me, because I realized that there are certain, public speaking is really an art, and if you do not instill or incorporate certain inherent principles, you would never effectively be able to articulate yourself. You would never be able to express yourself. And now, in my profession, I realize, how important it is. You can have the best ideas in your mind. You can be a brilliant scholar, but unless you're able to communicate, it is all futile. I mean, once you guys join some profession, you'll realize that the ability to put forth your point across, in front of say 50 people, 40 people effectively, which there's one thing is that you blabber something and you just put forth your point just for the sake of it. But and the other way is that you put forth your point in such a way that it is actually appreciated by the audience. So I won't take much time. 4-5 principles I thought, if I'll highlight today, it'll really be of benefit. One is, the first principle the book talks about is how to gain the confidence to speak before an audience. I'm sure you guys are participating in this, model United Nations. Some of you might be experienced. Some of you might be, participating for the first time, but I'm sure all of us here and whoever is, attending this talk today, you would have realized that before we speak before an audience, we get jitters, we get self-conscious, sometimes we get numb. So why does that happen? That happens, and that is completely natural to begin with, because you see, public speaking, is not child's play. So naturally, if somebody does not have that kind of experience, initially he'll be a little hesitant. He'll be a little, what if I say something wrong? What if I'm not able to put across my point effectively? But the book very clearly highlights that to have the confidence to effectively communicate your point, for what you need to do is completely absorb yourself in the subject matter. So what basically happens is, for example, if we talk about this model United Nations, so for a speaker, the chronology is that I am supposed to speak in this conference, I'm supposed to speak before an audience. So this is the first thought. The second thought is that I am supposed to speak on ABC, whatever topic it is. Now what happens is, if this chronology you change, so you forget that you have to speak in this conference, you forget everything else, you just completely absorb yourself in the subject matter. The moment you do that, your delivery will naturally improve. Right? Forget that 100 people are watching, 50 people are watching. Just be single pointedly, just focus your attention on the subject as if you literally own that subject, whatever the subject area that you're talking about. Only then you'll get the confidence. And the kind of confidence that I'm talking about is where the audience is receptive to whatever you are saying. The second principle the book highlights is the power of silence or pause. You see, all great orators, if you, you must have obviously heard of Barack Obama, you hear any of his speech, you can YouTube it later today also. They don't, or maybe Atal Bihari Vajpayee or any great speaker for that matter, they don't, ramble. If you ask them to speak, they will not ramble something quickly and just finish it off. In fact, in the art of public speaking and even otherwise, silence is referred to as the mother of speech, because the moment you pause, and whenever you're articulating yourself, even a pause of 1 or 2 seconds is a big pause. What a pause does is, firstly, it enables you to have a more coherent thinking. That you pause, you think that, okay, this is what I'm supposed to say, and then you say it. Secondly is that it creates suspense in the audience. If you pause, the audience naturally will be more inquisitive. Okay, what is he going to say next? It'll create that excitement and enthusiasm in the audience. Third is that once you pause, it allows the audience to be more attentive and receptive to what you are going to speak. Now, if any sentence you speak and you just keep one sentence after the other, you keep saying it for the sake of just finishing your talk or whatever, you won't get that kind of receptivity that you wanted. The third principle that the book talks about is efficiency through emphasis. So when you prepare your arguments in a debate, now every word in a sentence has its own value, but not every word is equally important. For example, if I say destiny is a matter of chance, destiny is not a matter of chance, it is a matter of choice. Okay, it's a simple sentence. Now there are multiple ways of saying this statement. But the moment you put emphasis on those particular words that you want to actually focus on. So in this sentence, what is the word that you want to focus on? Destiny. Because as a speaker, I want to tell you that destiny is not a matter of chance. So destiny should be emphasized. How will you emphasize? You say it forcefully. You modulate your voice. You modulate your tempo when you're saying the word destiny. Similarly, the word chance and choice. So if you modulate, or if with the same force you say the entire sentence, it really will have no sense, and it will lose its sheen. right? The next principle that the book talks about is the power of concentration. And here I would really like to, 1 or 2 minutes I would like to take here, is because, see, when I was a student, we all as students here, our parents or teachers say that you're not concentrating, you should concentrate and study, you're not concentrating in class, so on and so forth. So what is this concentration that everybody talks about, but we are not able to really concentrate? See, concentration is the ability to think on a single thing for as long as you can. That simply, it is no rocket science. So that in itself is concentration. But what happens is, here I can see there are about 65 participants. Most of you are listening to me, but in your mind you will have 4 5 other simultaneous thoughts going about. You might be thinking about, the competition, or you might be thinking about something else. It's a Sunday, you have to, maybe go out after this event. Or so the moment our thoughts start, jumping like a monkey from one thought to another, from one thought to another, then we lose our concentration. Similarly, if you read a book, similarly, it goes on and on in every field. If you write an exam, if you have different thoughts, you're not able to answer, right? So why is this concentration so important in public speaking? Now, Swami Vivekananda, he had a very good point. He said, to me, the very essence of education is concentration of mind and not collection of facts. Concentration is the essence of all knowledge, and this I can literally tell you guys. I have prepared for civil services. I've given 3 UPSC interviews. Concentration is the most difficult task, and with, you see, Instagram and Facebook and all sorts of things coming up, it is virtually impossible to have a very concentrated mind. So how shall one concentrate? Now you can concentrate. Firstly, you need to sacrifice things. Concentration cannot come when you're on WhatsApp with your friend or girlfriend, and you're studying at the same time, or you're preparing for your argument for the Model United Nations on at one time, and the other time you're thinking, okay, I'm going out with my friends tonight. So how to get this concentration? And this concentration alone is the most critical factor for success in life. I have engaged with a lot of ambassadors. I have engaged with a lot of other, foreign diplomats, and even senior officials in government of India. And it's only concentration that separates a successful man from an unsuccessful man. So you guys will, I don't know how much of you, if you'll appreciate this at this point, because you see, when I was your age, even I would not pay so much attention to, what is, I'll concentrate when the exam comes, I'll, study. But take it from me, if you can think on the same subject matter for as long as you can, which is essentially concentration, you will be a winner in this Model United Nations conference. You will get the desired score in whatever exam you give. You will, whatever job you apply for, you will be successful. The only key is concentration. And for a speaker, concentration is very important, because if you, right now I'm thinking of one topic, but the moment, if I'm not concentrated, I lose my chain of thoughts. I start thinking something else. Then the entire, structure of my arguments, the entire flow of my speech is completely goes for a toss. So that's, I'm sure you guys would have, made your submissions in the whatever committees you were allotted to, and you guys would have faced the same thing. That, after your talk, you would have thought, I could have said that better, but in the heat of the moment, I couldn't say it, or I missed that point, or I could have articulated myself better, but somehow, I got nervous, so on and so forth. So my request would to all of you would be that out of these 4 5 principles, even 2 3, if you can, try to internalize, because at the end of the day, I'm sure some of you might be school students. I've been told, that a lot of school students are also here. Some of you might be in, universities. At the end of the day, you will go out in the world where there is cutthroat competition. Life is not hunky dory. It is absolute, debauchery there, that everybody, it's completely cutthroat competition. So my request to all of you would be that you incorporate these principles, and this will happen not immediately, one by one. If you try it maybe 10 times, only then you will be able to succeed. At last, I mean, just because I don't want to keep this as a monologue, I thought, I'll again congratulate everybody. But I wanted all of you, if you have any questions that you want to ask me, anything about, the organization that I'm working for, about international financial services, or dealing with foreign stakeholders, anything that you guys would want to ask me, I'm more than happy and willing to answer.
So, sir, I would like to ask a question.
Yes.
So that if you want to choose, if you get an option to choose between IAS and IFS, which one would you prefer much?
No, that depends on, personal choice. So both of them have completely different work profiles. So in the foreign services, what happens is that you have a different mandate. So what your mandate is, that you are a representative of your country and you represent your country in other foreign, countries, with a view that to promote the interest of your own country. Right? That is what is diplomacy. Diplomacy is nothing but, as an individual, you have to protect your country's interest. That is what a diplomat is supposed to do, right? So if that is something that, I mean, I was not so much interested in being a diplomat. I was more interested in the administrative service, because I had my own reasons. I wanted to stay in the country, maybe serve here rather than go abroad. But then again, that's a matter of personal choice.
Sir, I would like to ask the next question.
Yeah, please.
So my question is that you explained quite precisely for people who like us, who might not have that much knowledge about finance, that what international financial services is. But I still have a doubt of you did mention foreign hedge funds and that big financial institutions coming. But why was there a need to establish almost like an embassy where the territory is ours, but the laws don't apply? Why?
That's a very good question.
Yes, sir. So why was it not possible under our country's laws? Like we could set up it in Mumbai as our financial capital. So why did we have to create this sort of thing?
Yeah. So that's a very interesting question, and the answer to that is, in India, the laws are extremely complex, right? So when you talk about income tax, when you talk about foreign exchange, the biggest challenge is why we needed a separate enclave, a country within a country, is that in India there is something called foreign capital account restrictions. What it simply means is, you cannot go to a bank. You cannot go to your banker and say, I want $5 million, you give it to me, I want to do business with that. He will not give it to you, because there is a law called Foreign Exchange Management Act, because of which the Indian currency is not fully convertible. So you can't take 5 crore rupees and tell your banker that give me same amount of whatever amount of dollars. So because the Indian currency was not fully convertible, we had to create an enclave or a separate jurisdiction within India, in which you can only deal with foreign currency. So this gift city, the IFSC, here you cannot deal in Indian rupees. Transactions are prohibited in Indian rupees. You can only deal in foreign currencies. So for example, banks don't offer you a rupee account. They offer you a dollar account. Or stock exchanges there, they offer you products not in rupees. So for example, there's a stock, you can't buy that stock in rupee. You have to buy it in dollar. Say an Apple stock or a Google stock or whatever it is. So because in India there is a restriction on capital account, we had to create this separate enclave. Had this capital account restriction not been there in India, then obviously the entire country, you get foreign currency as much as you want, you take out foreign currency as much of the from the country you want. Then whether you make the financial IFSC in Bombay, Delhi, anywhere you can make it, doesn't matter. But because there are capital restrictions in India, these legal carve-outs had to be created.
Sir, if you could just a small follow-up, that if you could clarify that how does it exactly help our economy and our country, that would be very appreciated. Yeah. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. Okay. So like I mentioned about ESG, okay, environment, social, and governance. This new concept of sustainability. Uh, we need trillions of dollars because we are transiting to a green economy and net zero carbon emissions. So where will this capital come from? Like I mentioned in the first part of my talk, the government does not have that kind of capital, and even the private sector in India does not have that kind of money. So that money has to, obviously, a part of it, a large portion of it, has to come from abroad. Now, how will that money come? Because that's dollar money or that's foreign currency money. How will it come to India? So it will come. So what Hong Kong did to China? If you study the Hong Kong model, China was able to achieve what it did because Hong Kong was a major financial center. You will be surprised if you see the statistics. Majority of the big Chinese companies, they are not listed in China, the mainland China, but they are listed in Hong Kong. Why are they listed in Hong Kong? Because any company needs capital to grow. Okay, capital is only of two types. One is equity capital and is debt. Debt is simply loan. You go to bank, you take loans. For example, you go to your banker, you take loan to buy a house. Similarly, a company, when it wants to expand or when it wants to do business, it goes to a bank and asks for loan. Equity is your normal stocks, where you sell a portion of your country through the stocks that you buy on stock exchange, right? So these Chinese companies did all their international business from Hong Kong. All foreign participants, foreign investors, huge hedge funds, pension funds, they invested in those Chinese companies from Hong Kong. So Hong Kong became a gateway for foreign investors to invest into China, because China also has similar capital control restrictions like India. So on that count, we are very two similar countries. In mainland China, you cannot deal with dollar. You cannot do. So all that dollar business used to happen from Hong Kong. And similarly in Dubai, I don't know if you're aware, in Dubai there is a Dubai International Financial Center. Similar concept. So it's an enclave, it's a separate financial jurisdiction. You do all the dollar business there, and it's happening. It's improving the Dubai economy. It is improving the UAE economy.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Any more questions? If anybody has any more questions. Okay. I think we do not have any more questions. Thank you, sir, for addressing the subject so remarkably and being kind enough to answer the questions asked so well. It was an amazing and knowledgeable talk, and we are so grateful for your time.
Thank you so much, and I wish you. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Is it a possibility that we take one more question, sir?
Yeah,
Yes,
please.
sir agrees. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. So basically, sir, it's a very basic question for coming from an aspirant. Now, I'm aiming for 23, and I started with my preparation. But the difficulty that I'm facing is, जो subjects आपको पसंद होते हैं वो तो याद हो जाते हैं आसानी से because you like them. But I don't like geography. तो इतना vast syllabus, इतने सारे facts, and the problem is कि वो single paper नहीं है, उसके साथ 2-3 subjects और हैं. तो आंसर लिखने बैठूंगी ना, I feel कि 1 यूनिट तो याद हो नहीं रहा, 4 यूनिट कैसे याद रहेंगे? So if you can talk something about that.
Yeah, see, the exam is such that unfortunately we don't get to pick and choose. That we like 3 subjects, so only we'll study those 3. That is the pattern of the examination. So I mean, like you, even myself, or even any other aspirant for that matter, they'll have their own set of preferences. They would like 3 subjects. They would not like 3-4 subjects. So the way to go, at least from my experience, is that you can excel in the subjects that you like. So for example, you said you don't like geography. So in my case, I did not like art and culture, because art and culture is very complex, and India is such a big country. The art and culture of India, I mean, you can read hundreds and hundreds of pages and still you will not be able to complete the syllabus. So you have to do cost benefit analysis. So what is this cost benefit analysis? You have to see from past year papers that, okay, if this particular subject I do only 40%, or because if you go about doing 100% of everything, it is next to impossible. You will never be able to complete the syllabus. I mean, and getting selected, to bhul jao matlab. So what you can do is, you don't like geography, okay, so and now because of internet, at least you have this option that why you don't like geography, because you don't understand it well enough, right? That can be the only rational argument, because even I did not like art and culture because I could not understand it. But now with these all these video lectures there, you see those lectures, naturally you will, the moment you get some better understanding, maybe तुम्हें book से समझ नहीं आ रहा है, from the book you're not able to understand geography concepts, so then obviously naturally what you do is you ignore geography and you go to some other subject. But if you're not able to understand it from a book, you start watching some video lectures, and once your those concepts get cleared, then when you relate it with the book, you are able to appreciate those principles better, and then gradually those you start liking the subject. And like I mentioned before, you don't have to do it 100%. So a subject that you don't like, you do it say 70%, 80%. But subjects that you really like, you do that end to end 100%.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir. Sorry for interruption. Sir, I would like to ask that, sir, UPSC does not get cracked very easily. So, sir, we need a backup plan always according to me, for cracking UPSC. So, sir, according to you, can you give me advice that which would be the best backup plan if we are not able to crack UPSC? Regarding UPSC only means like something related to that, correlated.
Right. So see, I was also a victim of this because I didn't get my desired service, and thankfully, in my final attempt when I missed it by 1 or 2 marks, thankfully government at the same time notified this new service, and then again I gave my interview and on that basis, and then I got selected. So from my experience, what I can tell you is that I don't know what field. Maybe if you're an engineer, I don't know which particular field you're in. After 1 or 2 years, it's always better to give the exam with some parallel job. Maybe it can be a full-time job, it can be a part-time job, because you see the exam the hard work that you do for this exam will not translate into success, because hard work is not directly related to the success of this exam. There are a lot of other factors involved. Maybe some of you can call it luck, some of you can call it destiny or chance. So if you're on the wrong side of, say, destiny or chance, despite the hard work that you do, there might be a probability that somebody may not get selected. So from the age 24 to 30, this is I just very recently crossed 30. Okay, so I can tell you with the utmost conviction that 25 to 30, this 5-6 year period, is the most productive 5-6 years of any individual's life. In fact, I remember now that I think it was Steve Jobs or maybe Bill Gates who said that they could do anything to bring back their 20s, the 20s period, because that is the most critical period when you're full of energy, when you're full of ideas. So just putting all your eggs in the same basket by just by just focusing on UPSC can have negative ramifications also. So my suggestion would be 1 or 2 attempts. You can maybe sit at home and just prepare. But after that, maybe you can parallelly pursue some degree, from some open university or something. Or maybe if you have an opportunity, you can do it with work. There are a lot of candidates who, while working, also have cleared the examination.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, if you can advise me regarding this also. Like currently, I'm in 8th grade and I would like to choose PCM
I'd
in 11th.
like to intervene. I'm sorry, but since we're running a little short of time, I'll have to close the questioning.
Can I have this one, please?
Go ahead. Last question. Sir, if you could.
So, sir, actually, currently I'm in 8th grade and I would like to ask that can I by taking PCM in 11 and sir doing IIT for graduation, and so then trying for UPSC, will there be a nice option or not? Is it a nice option?
Firstly, I would like to congratulate you. You are a very focused student. When I was in 8th standard, I could have never thought, I didn't even know what UPSC was. So you see, hats off to you that, from a very young age, you're focusing on, what you want to do in life. And my wishes to you for that. Like again, I mean, as I suggested before, right now I think it is too premature to say that PCM, taking PCM in 11th 12th, if that will help you or not. Right now you should only focus on your school. I mean, if you are serious about UPSC, you should pick it up from say once you join some college. But during school life you should enjoy your school, enjoy model United Nations conferences, and not worry about UPSC.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for answering all the questions. It is an honor to have you with us today.
Thank
Next,
you so much.
yeah, thank you, sir. Next among us, we have a few extremely talented people who have guided many sets of students in their respective fields and still continue to do so. It is an honor to have Mr. Aditya Mishra, sir, Student Secretary, Literary Sub-Council under USEC Hbtu, and Mr. Aman Kumar, sir, Vice President of Entrepreneurship Cell, Hbtu. It would be an incredible and memorable moment if any of the present dignitaries would address the ceremony with their wise words.
Hello, Yoshi. Thank you for the warm welcome. I've been sitting here and listening to Mr. Akshat, and it was a wonderful seminar, wonderful event. And all these amazing questions asked by people were really enlightening. Having been participating in MUN ever since my school, it has been a wide privilege for me to be here as an attendee finally, to hear such brilliant people speak. And at such a young age, when people are fighting for diplomacy rights and fighting in model MUN, to speak their heart out, to voice out their opinions, to speak about rights, it's really prevalent for me to understand, yes, this is what our students are capable of, and they have a bright future ahead. So yeah, hats off, and it's a job well done. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. We also have among us Ms. Vaishnavi Tripathi ma'am, Student Secretary, Print and Social Media Sub-Council under USEC Hbtu. I'd like to call this Mr. Aditya Mishra, sir, if he would like to address the ceremony.
Thank you, Yashi. I wasn't able to witness the whole event, but I overheard it that the event went pretty great, and SBTU and MUN, it's been a long story. We and our senior, we have already tried to organize an MUN here, but we weren't able to. But seeing you people organize MUN in HBTU, it's been a great thing. It's a really great thing, and I'm really proud of you people. It's you people really did a great job, and I hope you people really continue to do all this in future time also. Hats off. Good
Thank
job.
you, sir. Thank you, sir. Ms. Vaishnavi Tripathi ma'am, if you would also like to address the ceremony.
Hi everyone. Hi Ashley. Hi team. Hi Aaron. So first of all, very congratulations to all the participants. You guys did a very great job, and it would have been a privilege अगर हम event offline में करा पाते if it was in my hands. So that would have been the best thing possible. If वो कहते हैं ना legacy create करना, that would have been the case. But trust me, guys, you guys have already created a legacy. It's been almost 4 years, and I remember many of my seniors who always aspired to organize in even college में कभी कराते हैं, but we never got the opportunity. Resources भी नहीं थे, and then COVID hit us, everything got set back. But somehow you guys made it possible. And it's not about कि तुम लोगों ने सिर्फ college को connect किया. You ask people outside the college to come and gather together. There's a community which is a humongous task. Trust me. Hey, Jimmy, maybe if you ask people to join, so they are so complacent they won't. So you guys have a very honest audience. So credit for that as well. And Aaron is there. Okay, so Aaron, I'm proud of you. And I don't find Harshit, but I'm proud of Harshit as well. Especially you as well. So very, very good. And I like to tell everybody that these guys have invited us so well, so well. I was so overwhelmed. Oh God, so many efforts. So you guys should look up to them. They are the pillars, and this is not a small task. If you come into this, and if you organize some event someday, then you will get to know what is the gravity of even organizing an event online. I mean, MU1 is itself such a big event. You need people, you need helping hands, you need an honest audience, and doing all that is pretty impossible. That too when you all are at your homes. So it was really, really nice of them to organize this, and yeah. And I hope, and I did enjoy the whole event because I was supplement on the event. Hope you guys enjoyed it pretty well. I am. I know this card not being what I've really helped you guys. It's just another crowd. So thank you for having me. Thank you, Ashwi. Thank you, Adam. Everyone.
Among us, I guess just joined us as Mr. Pratyam Kumar Anurag sir, Student Secretary, Cultural Sub-Council. Sir, if you would like to address the ceremony with a few words, that would be great.
Good evening, everyone. And Aryan, Yashi, Gaga, congratulations, guys. I don't know kitna delegates aaye the. Yashi, if you could tell me how many delegates you guys had.
Sir, it was over 130.
It's great. Where is Aryan and the entire team? Guys.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, guys. Good evening.
Sir, yeah.
Did it, everyone? Finally.
Thank you, sir.
Shabash, bhai, shabash. Next year, I hope ये offline होगा.
Yes, sir. That's the plan. Sure.
With a DJ night in the end, I guess.
Yes, sir. That's a ritual.
Yeah, Gaga will arrange the DJ night probably. And I joined lately. Someone was, talking. I wasn't very attentive. He seemed very knowledgeable. Probably he was. Aryan told me that. And I guess Sohan sir is here. Did he speak anything, sir? Sir? Mishra?
Yeah, bro, here. Hey, bro.
Yeah. Like, this is something which we thought in the first year that कुछ ऐसा सा होना चाहिए. कुछ चाहिए, MUN.
In our
And you
first
guys
year,
did
in
it.
fact, in our seniors' first year, everyone thought of this.
And
We all thought of this.
everyone did it. Like, you guys made it possible. Congratulations to everyone.
Congratulations to them.
Yeah.
It was a pretty big task.
Results कभी out हो रहे हैं, Aryan?
So we are about to do like we'll do the award ceremony just after this. Like,
Is there any kind of awards or prizes for the winners or the best delegates?
yes,
Something like that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have arranged for cash prizes and a few goodies as well.
Okay, cool. Next year, I want an offline MUN probably. Everyone.
Yes, sir. That's the plan, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Yashi.
Also, one more thing. I want to see a lot more participation in the upcoming literary events as well. There will be a lot of literary events in the second week of August in that Amrit Mahotsav, which will be scheduled offline in the college. So make sure you all participate.
Yeah, +1. There is this Kavya Sabha and there's this debate thing. Gaga is not in Kanpur. He is in Kerala probably. बाकी जितना लोग कानपुर में, I want everyone there.
Also, since I and Samana will not be there, so all those who have been participating in the literary events, it's their job to step up. And I guess it's about time that you people take the leadership.
Thank you, sir, for addressing the ceremony.
Nahi, wait. I want everyone who will be there in the Amrit Mahotsav. Aryan,
Yes, sir.
you'll be there, right?
Yes, sir. Definitely.
And where is Harshit and everyone?
Yes, sir. For sure.
Okay. Other than Gaga, everyone will be there. Yashi, you too.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you for addressing the ceremony. Okay. Moving ahead, I guess each and every delegate has worked very hard and has put in their words, sweat, and research in making this event a success. Not all of you can win, but this event was much more than just winning. It was about you, it was about how you tackle a problem thrown your way for it to benefit a much larger group of people, and all of you have excelled in the task. The only difference was some may have done it a little more elegantly than you, but we're all here to learn, aren't we? I hope it was a memorable event for you all. With that, I'd like to invite the president of Hbtu Mun, Mr. Harshit Pandey, to announce the name of the winners.
Okay, thank you so much, Yashi. Okay, so we'll announce the name of winners. I have to say something, and just after me, your Secretary General will say something, and then we both together will announce the results. Okay. So good evening, all of you. Good evening, all the dignitaries present here, the secretaries of sub-councils, and my fellow teammates. What a conference we had, no? I would love to personally thank each one of you, but online, but yeah, I know you'll all participate again tomorrow, next year, when we'll be organizing the offline conference. Okay, finger crossed. So on Friday in the opening ceremony, I said that the majority of the participants we have are the first timers. But kudos to our executive board, especially the chairpersons and the vice chairpersons, for handling the committee so professionally, and also giving out some small lessons, small learning lessons in between. I also said on Friday that we are here to know and renegotiate what this world should be. And I think we filled our resolutions with the plan of tomorrow. We may be naive according to the real world scenarios, but at least now we know our perspective, no? One thing is clear, and we'll understand that in these past few days, that this world needs change. So now, when you'll go back to your schools, colleges, or universities, you'll have a voice to talk about. You'll know how to deal with the persons with a different perspective and point of view. You'll know how to gather knowledge and how to do your own research. And that is the most important skill according to me. My sincere thanks to all the members of organizing committee as well as the executive board for going through all ups and downs of this Mun conferencing organizing part. We've tried to ensure best possible experience which we can in this limited resources which we have. Okay, so this is not the end here. This is just a start. On the behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to ensure that I would like to ensure all of you that next year we'll grow and we'll organize a better conference than this. Okay, so just spread the word all over the India, all over the colleges that the revolution has just begun. And on this note, I would like to invite R.N. Shukla, the Secretary General, to say a few words.
Yeah, and a few words I never say. I always say a lot of words. Anyways, that's something I'm particularly good at. Anyways, so a very good evening to all the student secretaries, our respected seniors, our very lovely juniors, our tireless executive board, and of course, a very dedicated delegate body whose presence and vigorous participation made this very first edition of the Hbtu Mun a resounding success. Over the course of this entire event, you might have seen me in different roles. You might know me for different things. Maybe I took a beginner session with some of you on a random Monday evening or solved a query for you regarding the registration process. Or maybe I shared with you some lonely link of the Discord server, which by the way, went from the epicenter of a conference right to the periphery. And that could happen because of the overwhelming numbers that we were harboring, which again are you guys. Anyways, so yes, we were talking about the different roles that you've seen me over the past couple of days. Almost all of you now know me as an eccentric committee hopper, as the chair of Dissect never failed to point out, anyways, who showed up randomly in different committee sessions and would start listening in. Trust me, people, though I did it under the pretense of checking up on the progress of the conference, but intentions were just to belong. Belong as the probable fate of Uyghur Muslims was debated upon. Belong as the crisis in Yemen was being dealt with. Belong as the judicial reforms were being discussed. I've been a part of quite a few Muns, and this was my least enjoyable one. But still, never have I ever felt what I felt today. At the end of any particular conference, because this might be just another model United Nations for most of you present here, but then again, there are a lot of folks in this very meeting, as you already know, who know that that was more than a conference, more than just another event. It was a statement. It was a statement that spoke, actually strike that, screamed of a revolution. And not until very long ago, we were of the opinion that this was our revolution, our dream, and our vision. But we couldn't be more wrong. And as I was recently reminded of this fact by someone who's very close to me and is also present in this particular meeting, who you'll meet just after me, he reminded me of the fact that there were a lot of people before us who had similar dreams and similar visions. And the feeling of knowing that this was so much more bigger than us was truly mesmerizing. So a lot of it will make sense after the person that I'm talking about comes on stage. But before that, I think we are just gonna be done with the prizes, since a lot of you are just eagerly waiting for that. And you had even started spamming the chat section. So I would like to call upon Harshit so that we can just continually.
Yeah, we'll. Okay, so the time has come. Like so many of you are just spammed the chat section and the groups also, asking about the prices. Okay, so like I'll just like to announce this. Ki will. Yeah, thank you. Your thank you is accepted. Okay, so I'd like to just announce this that we'll like distribute prizes just after the ceremony ends. Okay, like we'll circulate some Google forms also, like taking some information to the winners, and like then we'll give away prizes. Okay, prizes includes goodies. Okay, like goodies of Hbtu Mun and cash prizes, obviously, as we promised. Okay, so we'll just give you the exact number. Like you'll be contacted by our team just after this ceremony, so don't worry about it. Right, we'll just announce names. Okay, for the different committees. So we'll just start with the United Nations Security Council, one of the most important committees. Okay, so first of all, let's just announce the best delegate's name. So Aryan, would you like to do that, or should I announce?
You go first. Meanwhile, I'm figuring something out.
Okay, so the best delegate for United Nations Security Council will be the delegate from People's Republic of China. Okay, so can he unmute himself and just say thank you so we'll know who he is?
Yeah, good evening, sir, and good evening, other respected ma'ams and sirs present here. And thank you so much for this opportunity. And I feel really elated after 2 days of constant battle. I finally am going to join the Communist Party of India and bring about the revolution that Comrade Mao envisioned. But yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you so much.
And battle you did.
Sorry, just go back to non-communist Mao.
Like this is even more funny because like I don't think most of you know here, but we have this Discord server of Colliders, and on that server, Shore's nickname was non-communist Mao, and he ended up winning the Security Council by the most communist country there ever was. So well done on that.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, so the High Commendation for United Nations Security Council, the delegate from United States of America. Can you unmute yourself?
Yes, a very, very good evening to one and all present. And thank you so much, the organizing committee of Hbtu. It was a pleasure being a part of this event. And I thoroughly enjoyed 2 days of debate, non-communist Mao. Hats off to you. I am, I don't know what do you call me? That West has lost its mind? Yes, I may have lost my mind, but you were great. Thank you so much, Hbtu. Thank you so much to the Honorable Chair for being a part. I enjoyed myself a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you to participate, delegate. Okay, so next up in the line, special mention for the United Nations Security Council. The delegate from Republic of Albania. Are you here, delegate? Can you unmute yourself?
I would like to thank the chair for. I would like to thank the chair for this honor, and I'm really grateful. Thank you.
Okay. So we'll be having 2 verbal mentions for the United Nations Security Council. Okay, so verbal mentions will be the delegate from United Kingdom, and the delegate from the French Republic.
Thank you so much for it. It was a pleasure. The whole debate was really fun.
Okay. Okay, nice.
Thank you,
Next in
sir.
line will be. Okay, you're here. Welcome.
Thank
Okay,
you
so
so
next in line will be announcing
Sure.
the
So,
names for UNHRC committee. Okay, Aryan, let's just
yeah.
start with the UNHRC thing.
All right. First of all, I would like to say something that I mean, a lot of you participated brilliantly, and even your own chairs were in a lot of debate and discussion regarding who to give these prizes to. But we, as the officials for this particular MN, had to make a few hard decisions. Also, because the chairs were involved with you for this entire 2 day process. They had been in all those sessions, and they had seen the amount of hard work that you put in. But and we, on the other hand, were just sitting there like watching it all happen. So we're not as emotionally attached. So please excuse us for that. But all of you did a good job. Okay, and let's start with the award list for UNHRC. So yeah, best delegate goes to, like, I so want to do any guesses or something like that, but I don't think there'll be very lot of responses. So yeah, the best delegate goes to Iceland. Iceland, can you just unmute yourself? And Iceland, I think finally you managed to get rid of all your connection troubles and win it all, right?
No one's not getting rid of my connection trouble, sir. Actually, I had to travel. So I was doing my conference halfway in my car, halfway when I was not well, and halfway again while in car.
I think that's the win formula.
Yes, that's how you win HRC.
Yeah, a lot of human.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right. See, guys, now you know, to win in HRC, you need a lot of human suffering inside of you, so that you can relate to the agenda. Anyways, now we move on to high commendation, which goes to the delegate of Egypt. Egypt, if you could unmute yourself and say something. The delegate of Egypt.
Look, the delegate of Egypt still has network issues. I am better.
Oh damn. That is just great. Anyways, fine. So I think Egypt is not here, but don't worry, Egypt. Your prize will find its way to you because we promised it. And yeah, Hbtu never goes back on its word because we hardly give any words. So yeah. Anyways, so special mentions. We'll move on to special mentions. So for UNHRC, special mentions are China, India, Afghanistan, and Ukraine. A lot of special mentions, but then again, the prize distribution will vary a little. So yes, if any one of you or all of you would like to just open your mic and have a word.
Thank you so much, Chair. I had a very enjoyable experience.
Thank you, Gigi.
Did it? Okay. All right. Anyone else?
Any other delegate?
Afghanistan, Ukraine, China, India. All right. Not people of many words. And then we're going to move on to verbal mentions. I'm getting a lot of entry requests for meet. Anyways, yes, verbal mention. We just have one verbal mention for UNHRC, which is the delegate of Japan. Japan, are you here? Delegate of Japan? No? All right. Okay, fine. I think we spoke a little too much and we drove them away. Never mind. Okay, fine. Okay, Harshit, over to you for the next committee.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, sadly.
Okay, fine. So the next committee will be DISEC. Okay, so the best delegate for DISEC goes to United Kingdom, delegate from United Kingdom. Are you here? Can you unmute yourself?
You're speaking something. I can see that you've unmuted yourself, but we can't hear you, Ashwarya.
Yeah, so you are a delegate from United Kingdom, right? Yeah, but we can't hear you.
Dude, how you people manage to win, man?
Yeah.
you. This is the moment to speak and
Okay.
like. Fine. No, I'm just kidding, man. Of course you did brilliantly. That's why you managed to win it. Okay, move on.
Okay, so next in line, the High Commendation Award for Dissect Committee goes to the delegate from Russia, Russian Federation.
Dude,
Delegate
all
of
the
Russia, can you unmute yourself if you are present in the meet?
all these other people who are here, they must be thinking, यार हमको ही दे दो, हम मीट पे कम से कम. Okay, fine. They're like, you know what?
Okay, fine.
I won it. I won it. I know I'm gonna win it. I'm just gonna go sleep now. I will collect my rewards tomorrow. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, so next in line, special mention for Dissect Committee, special mention as delegate of France. Delegate from French Republic. You're also not here.
Yes.
Okay, you're here.
Thank you so
Fine.
much.
Thank God.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so at last, yeah. Okay, you're done. Fine. At last, we'll be announcing some verbal mentions also. Verbal mentions for the Dissect committees: delegate from China, delegate of Indonesia, and delegate of Egypt.
Thank you so much, sir. One very important thing is that I would like to congratulate all the seniors of the organizing committee and especially Aryan sir and Harshit sir to be able to, push us so hard to be, part of the MUN and be able to achieve a big dream, and some more dreams await us. Thank you.
Yeah, we did push you hard. That's true.
Yeah,
Good, you have
that's, that's
The
true.
delegate of Egypt is really grateful. Thank you so much to the whole Hbtu MUN team. They were really, really supportive throughout. As a first timer, I couldn't get much more support than this team. And to all the beautiful alliances I made, thank you so much for your support throughout, for making my motions pass. Thank you so much. Really grateful.
We're glad to have done this.
Yeah. Okay. So in the last but not Aryan, let's just start with the APPM committee. With the most fierce debate, AIPPM tops the list of debate.
Okay, fine. So all India political parties meet. The best delegate goes to the man of many words, with impeccable command over the English language. Maybe even better than me. Just kidding. He would just crush me. Anyways, Dr. Shashi Tharoor. Dr. Shashi Tharoor, if you could have you here.
Thank you, sir. I would actually thank the chair for this honors he gave me, and I would congratulate on your success for the first month. And this is my first month win in a month, so I will never forget HBTU for this. Thank you so much.
That's nice. That's good to hear. Okay, so high commendation goes to Naveen Patnaik.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, Pranay, sir. Thank you, Sonia, ma'am.
All right. Okay, so the special mention goes to Mehbooba Mufti and Arvind Kejriwal. If you can speak, Kritika and Madhav. Guys.
ठीक है हेलो हाँ मतलब सबको फिर बता दो कि मतलब ऑटो को कैसे लगेंगे और क्या
Okay, I know we wanted you to
मुझे
speak,
नहीं
but
लगता है कि
not
कोई कुछ बोलेगा क्योंकि
not
20-30 रुपए जाने के लगेंगे 20 खाने के
Okay, fine. I'll just mute
That's
you.
quite a good entertainment. Yeah.
Like I know we asked you to unmute yourself and speak, but like something of relevance would be nice. Anyways, so Arvind Kejriwal, you troubled me a lot during the course of this conference. So if you could unmute yourself and speak. Okay, Arvind Kejriwal is
I don't
maybe
know if he's
sleeping.
here or not.
And maybe he's sleeping off his
Yeah,
headache.
exactly.
Because that's the excuse he made when I said why you're not speaking in the conference. Anyways, so the verbal mention. I'm surprised at this because whatever little debate of AIPPM I saw, I thought that the person here would be a little higher in the awards list, but I'm sure the chair decided it very wisely. So yes, verbal mention goes to Mr. Narendra Modi, and I personally enjoyed Mr. Modi a lot. The way he was dealing in the unmoderated caucuses, it was crazy. Anyways, and then like that's not all. It would go to Digvijay Singh, Mamta Banerjee, and Rahul Gandhi. So these are our verbal mentions. If you would just yes, Modi ji.
Yeah, I will especially thank the chair, Pranay sir. Sir, you helped so much during because I am practically a first timer. I don't know much about the proceedings and all. And also, Mr. Shashi Tharoor and Naveen Patnaik, they being a fellow delegate, they are in opposition, but they helped me over the doubts which I asked them on WhatsApp. It was a beautiful show of camaraderie between all the delegates.
Yeah, it definitely was. Like Mr. Modi asking help from Shashi Tharoor, that would be something to, root for.
Nice one, sir.
Anyways, Digvijay Singh, Mamta Banerjee, and Rahul Gandhi. If you'd like to unmute yourself and just.
Mamta Banerjee.
I would. Mamta Banerjee, go on. I would like to hear you say something. I almost forgot.
So can I speak?
Yeah.
Yes, Nishan.
Yes. So I would like to thank my chair, the most humble person we have in our chair, the chairperson. Sir, like Ashika Nath said, the chairperson was very rude. This chairperson was very rude. And in his past experience, they say anything on your face, and they are very rude. But we have the most humble chair, Mr. Pranay sir. So thank you, sir, for being our chair and for managing us. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Yeah,
Yes,
right words for chair.
Yeah. And he's a great guy, man, Pranay. Great guy.
Yeah,
Anyways.
that's why he was there, no?
Yeah, that's true. Anyways, okay, so Digvijay Singh and Rahul Gandhi, if you'd like to unmute yourselves and say something.
Thank you, sir, for the appreciation. I really appreciate whatever HBTU has done for us, and I would like to really thank our chair, Mr. Pranay. He helped us a lot, and as a first-time experience, it has been really great to make new connections, form new alliances, and lobbying. I learned a lot from it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, about lobbying, I learned a lot too because we were in government and we were short on people and the opposition was having a majority in every motions and all.
And sir, party, and sir, BJP party people supporting other agenda.
Wow, Modi ji, wow.
So we didn't supported your motions, yeah.
Wait, guys,
We didn't voted upon your motions.
Guys, wait.
Okay, this is not a comedy.
Home Minister,
We'll have this talk after this.
Mamta ji, if you would
Okay,
have
fine.
if you would have said this much during the conference, you'd be a little higher in the awards list. Anyways, this is not the time for this. Right now, like there's a person waiting amongst us. This person, like to all those who who are not from HBTU, this person is who started all of this. Like in one way or another, he's the person who supported all through us. He's the Dumbledore of my life, and he has been there throughout. No matter what problem I had, this person was always there. Like one person that I could count on with my eyes closed. So with this, I would like to request respected Mr. Swan Srivastava sir to come up and just take the stage for once. Swan sir, wait, I'll just also text him. Yes.
Am I audible, everyone?
Yes, sir.
So, first of all, really sorry if you guys hear some commotion here. I'm actually traveling somewhere. And also, I'm seeing too much familiar faces. And thank you for all you have said, Arjun. Itna kuch such nahi hai, so none of it is to that extent. Also, I saw, congratulations to the winners, first of all. I saw one, this is not the case. I'm actually traveling. So first of all, congratulations to every winner, every participating, every delegate who was there. And the best part I think was seeing new faces and hearing from them that it was their first time. and they still winning it. So really congratulate to all of the participants and to the team as well. So Aryan just mentioned one thing, the dream thing, and this is true. So this is true just because you have heard Pradyum, Vaishnavi, Adit, all of them spoke. Then these people are speaking. Many before us have thought of doing this. I remember first day of my college, I went to the lecturer secretary and asked for him कि एग्जाम होता है क्या? Just plain and simple. And he said, है तो करवा लो, because we could not do it. And then from our time, from our seniors time, from our juniors time, it was all just a dream. So it's a very big thing for us, for HBTI, for all the people who are from outside HBTI. इतने भी बुरे नहीं हैं हम. It's just that there was no circumstances where we could make this happen, and it's really emotional thing for us because for me specifically because I was trying to get it done since my day one, and I left the college just 1 month ago, and those 2 years I could not see it happening, and now I see it happening. So it's really something. And also congratulations to each and every team participant from HBTI, from outside of HBTI, and to the team as well. The award ceremony, I heard few names, so it was very good to see Russia getting honorable mention in these times. I could not attend the whole thing, but I suppose that it was really. I just don't think. I believe that it must have been really very good. And also, Pradyum is the guy who always spam thing. Still spamming. It's okay. And so best of luck everyone for future which is yet to come. I have just now entered outside of my college life, and I've met folks who have done all these literary things. This will always help you in your future. Just remember this. Irrespective of anything, the certificates won't matter. The experiences will. The people who you build bond with, they will matter, and they will always matter. So congratulations and really thank you team for making this happen. Especially from my side, it feels like a personal victory for me. Thank you. Arun. So also I've got to go because I'm literally traveling. So if you guys can see me, I'm at someplace. Okay, so bye guys, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for coming. Okay, so there was a doubt. I think Arjun, you answered that, right?
Yes. So yeah, the best delegations. Yes, we have awards for the best delegations, and right now we simply came up with the best delegates and the honorable mentions. And
Yeah,
we were just looking at the portfolios. We haven't really gone back and look at the institutions that they belong to. So we'll tabulate that.
Yeah, guys, like
and
it will take time, no, obviously.
Yeah, like we'll post it tomorrow.
Like it will take time to combine it. We'll post it on our Instagram page. Don't worry about it. We'll post your college name, like specifically, like a best delegation from this particular college, and yeah, there'll be certificates for best delegation also.
And there are certain people who are hopeful for it. They might have already calculated it because they obviously know which college they belong to. So in that case, don't worry. We are not gonna do some behind the scene politics. All right, it's gonna be very fair. And it's going to be on our IG handles, all right? And as far as the certificates and the awards are concerned, they're going to reach you. We are going to collect all the details of the winners, and yes.
Yeah, I just like to request this ki we'll circulate a Google form after just after the ceremony. Okay, so all the winners, all those who are expecting a prize, just kind of fill the form. अगर वो form fill नहीं करोगे तो you won't get a prize, है ना? So that's totally upon you. So yeah, and and in the end, as the opening ceremony, just open your cameras. Everyone who is present right here to just click some pictures.
Yes, a commemorative
picture, final moments.
Yes, a commemorative pic is what we're looking for here. Everyone, open your camera once.
Guys, just open your cameras, no? Just for the sake of 2 minutes or 1 minute, so you can click a good picture, put it on Instagram.
As I said on the opening ceremony, we might not actually be influencers, but we have a substantial reach. So, and you guys are going to be all over it.
Okay, I don't see cameras opening.
I'm not a lot of cameras. Guys, please open the cameras. I know award ceremonies and all the Okay, fine. Like, I
Okay.
think
Okay, fine. You guys are not willing to open your cameras. That's fine. We will just end this meeting.
we'll just
It's
click
not
a
an
picture
issue.
of
We can
your.
post our picture only.
We'll click a picture of the beautiful profile pictures.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, guys. I think at this note,
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. Like, it's been a hell of a journey from last 3 days. We're working tirelessly. Like, literally, I was in bed in the morning when I joined the meet.
yeah.
Again, I think that's the case with each one of us. So
Haven't
thank you so much
I
for joining us.
haven't bathed in a couple of days. Need to go take a bath. Okay, guys. All right. So like it was really a dream come true, man. It was a dream come true, and all of you guys made it possible. I hope all of you had a wonderful experience as well. And even if you didn't, please just for
Okay,
our
then like just for the interaction, just like if not opening camera, just unmute yourself and just clap once, no? Just have a huge round of
for all
applause
of
and
us,
then
for
leave
all
the
of us.
meeting. All of us, everyone. Just open your clap. Open your mics.
Nice.
Harshit, there are some questions in the chat
Nice.
box. Just address them, can you?
What questions?
Okay, can you
Are you
like
still
read it
asking
out?
questions?
I can see them.
Yes, for those who haven't won, of course, you're going to be getting the participation certificate,
Yeah,
which is
all the
also
certificates will be there. Don't worry about it.
so that you can show in your portfolio that you have participated in an MUN, and that's how you build it, right?
Sir,
Yes.
sir, the people who got verbal mentions will also get awards.
You're gonna get our goodies, not cash prizes, but you're gonna get a few goodies. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, so just fill the form. Goodies will be like sent on your address, on your home address only.
Please fill the form correctly, no?
Yes.
All right. Okay. I think this is
Thank
good
you so
enough
much for
note.
joining, everyone. Now
Thank you,
it's
sir.
time to wind up this beautiful conference.
Thank you, sir.
Peace out.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, sir. Thank you, sir.